The Change Attributes tool. To get to this tool, you'll need to be in your drawing workflow in the Home ribbon, and under the Modify group, it's this tool right here. There is a down arrow you can select to where there's a couple different options under here. There's Change Element Attributes, Smart Match, Match Element Attributes, Change to Active Area, Change Element Fill Type, and Modify Line Style Attributes. Right now we're just going to talk about the Change Element Attributes tool, so I'm going to select that one. And that'll bring up the Change Attributes dialog box. There's quite a few toggles under here, and we'll go over each of these. The first one is Active Attributes. If I check this on, what it will do is down below here, it will use the active attributes that are set up in your attributes group up above. I'm going to leave this unchecked for right now. But say we want to come out to our drawing, and maybe we want to change the color of this block out here from the current color to something else. If I only want to change the color on something, I'll just come over here and check on the color, pick the color I want to change it to. Maybe I want to make it green, so I'll just select 4. Now all I have to do is come out and left click on that block, and it's going to change it to the green color. Also, if I wanted to change the style, all I would have to do is check it on, pick which style I wanted. Maybe I want it to be a solid line. Just go out and left click on it again, and it'll use whatever is checked on and change those attributes of that element. And that will work on any other element I want to select. So if I want to change that triangle, all I would have to do is go out and left click and select that triangle, and it's going to use those attributes I have checked on. You can also change the level, the weight, the transparency, priority, class, and template of your element as well. You also have a Make Copied toggle, so if you wanted to make a copy of that element, you could check that one on. And you also have one called Change Whole Element, which will change the entire element. Most of the time it'll do this anyway, but if you had some text with an underline or an overline or something like that, it would change those items as well. Now back at the top we have this Active Attributes box. If I check that one on, like I said earlier, it'll load up the active attributes that are up here in the ribbon. So if I want to change the level, color, style, and weight of that item, I can just check all 4 of those on. I can go out and select the element I want to change. And when I select it, it's going to change that element. You just have to remember that whatever you have checked on is what's going to change. If I don't have anything checked on down here and I go out and select an element, it's not going to change anything on that element. I actually have to have those items turned on and then go out and select that element. Next to the active attributes, you also have this little eyedropper, and what this one will do is it'll match the element attributes. So if I have something already drawn out here, like this right-of-way line, and I wanted to match those attributes, all I'd have to do is go up here and select the eyedropper, come back out and select the right-of-way, and it will load those attributes into my Change Attributes dialog box. So now if I wanted to come out here and change this line up here to match the other right-of-way line, I'll just have to make sure I have all 4 of my level, color, style, and weight checked on. Come out and left click on that line, and it'll change the attributes of the line. Now if I zoom in a little bit on the rest of the roadway, I'm going to come up here and use my element selection tool real quick. And you'll notice if I hover over these lines all have a level, color, style, and weight applied to the bottom part. On the top part, they do not. So I'm going to come in here and fix the top part. So I'm going to select my Change Element Attributes tool, make sure I have my active attributes checked on, and I'm going to have my level, color, style, and weight checked on. Now I'm just going to use the eyedropper tool to match my element attributes. Maybe first I'll select this inside line right here, which is the edge of pavement, so I'll select it. Now I'll come out and select the one on the upper side. Because the color is white, you really can't tell it did anything, But if I hover over it, you'll notice that the line now has the level roadway edge of pavement on it. So I can do the same thing to the edge of shoulder, come up and select my match element attributes, then select the edge of shoulder, come up to the upper line, select it, and it'll change it. And I'll do the same thing for the barrier. I'll go ahead and select my match element attributes, eyedropper, select the barrier, and then come up and change the other barrier. Now you'll notice when I change this last one, the posts are on the wrong side. We will fix this barrier in another video coming up. So I'm just going to leave it alone for now. So those are the options under the Change Attributes tool.